For decades, the public perception of the White House grounds has been defined by quiet historical reverence and strict behavioral norms. We expect this physical space to host meticulously curated elite events. Think of formal state dinners, where political dignitaries whisper among towering cherry blossom arrangements. This atmosphere of extreme decorum is entirely intentional. It acts as a political tool, projecting an aura of unwavering institutional stability to the rest of the country. But establishing a standard this rigid and pretentious creates a massive blind spot. It leaves the entire institution highly vulnerable to deliberate cultural disruption. That disruption arrived when the White House lawn underwent a sudden transformation into a 4,000-seat UFC arena for America's 250th celebration. The exact inciting incident occurred the moment fighter Josh Hoit secured a victory inside the octagon and immediately demanded the microphone. Hoit delivered a completely unscripted speech. He thanked Jesus Christ, praised Donald Trump for having the guts to host the event, and then threw a highly controversial derogatory joke directly at former First Lady Michelle Obama. The polite illusion established in those formal dining rooms shattered instantly. A collision of raw violence, unapologetic working-class rhetoric, and deliberate political provocation had breached the gates. The political left and the media establishment responded with immediate, highly synchronized pushback. Commentator Sunny Hostin elevated the fighter's joke into an urgent, sweeping narrative, directly connecting a post-fight insult to the historical roots of slavery and systemic sexism in America. Hillary Clinton echoed the sentiment, arguing that the mere presence of the event and the rhetoric it encouraged degraded the inherent dignity of the presidential office. This diagram illustrates exactly what we are watching: the media outrage machine. It's a three-step mechanical process triggered when cultural boundaries are breached. The rapid cycle generates immense moral panic, establishing a consensus that pushes all other interpretations out of the frame. By putting this highly visible pearl clutching on display, the establishment attempts to reassert its dominance over what is and is not culturally acceptable. The populist right anticipated this exact reaction and launched an immediate counterargument. They framed the media's outrage as proof that an out-of-touch, miserable elite simply hates working-class fun. To prove this, they deploy a strategy of selective outrage auditing. They dig through the left's own history in that exact same physical space to expose the hypocrisy. They point out that the current administration recently hosted highly controversial pride events, complete with topless activists, right on the White House lawn. They highlight the media's open celebration of pop stars disrespecting historical American artifacts in the name of entertainment. And they bring up previous administrations inviting figures with known criminal histories to brag about smoking pot inside the sacred halls of the Lincoln bedroom. Pointing out this double standard strips away the establishment's claim to moral sanctity. The manufactured outrage meant to shame the UFC event instead becomes a massive political liability for the media. Stepping back from the specific joke and the octagon reveals a broader strategy at play. The strategy relies on injecting raw, unfiltered masculinity directly into spaces the elite have spent years attempting to sanitize. Donald Trump didn't need to script Josh Hoit's speech. He simply orchestrated an environment, a vacuum, where men felt fully empowered to break establishment rules on a massive stage. The 4,000 attendees erupted in wild cheers, a visceral response that points to a massive public exhaustion with elite political correctness. Triggering the opposition's resentment towards working-class culture and then exposing that resentment to the public is now a highly effective mechanism for securing political loyalty. The function of the White House has shifted. It is no longer entirely a seat of quiet governance. It operates as the primary broadcast stage for the culture war. Pure entertainment and loud, brash fun have been weaponized. They serve as definitive, visible markers of political identity. Future electoral maps won't be drawn by white papers or polite debate. They will be decided by mastering these visceral proxy cultural battles. These events suggest that the long-standing norms of political decorum are being redefined by a relentless, unapologetic clash for cultural dominance.